bailed him out so many times. Do you know, I even lent him money for his daughter's wedding.
Calm down, Frank.
I wonder what else he's been up to behind my back.
I'll get you a glass of water now. Sit down.
Hello, Frank Tate. Hello. Who is this?
Why should I do this?
Because we don't get on. Because, believe me, board meetings with the two of us on the same table will be for all concerned.
I like a challenge.
20%.
Frank.
Hello, Frank Tate. Hello? Hello? Who is this?
It's me.
Who's me?
3 guesses.
Don't tell me you've changed your mind. Hello? Zoe? Hello? Are you the weirdo that's been sending me these letters? Because they're in the bin. Every one of them. Who are you?
Can't you tell, Frank? It's me. It's Kim.
At this moment in time, out there, there's millions of little kids, all watching us, and they're all saying, Mummy, who's that lovable little man? Well, it's your Uncle Bobby. All right, you lovable little man. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go off, come back on separately, all right? Who gets the biggest round of
Is that you,
applause,
Sophie?
who they like the best, okay? Tell me, I've got charisma. Like a rash at top of the
Sophie's
leg.
out.
We'll go and sort it
It's
out,
just you and me,
all right,
Frank.
we can go to the
But I'm not dead, Frank. Feel. Smell.
We buried you. I identified the body. It was you. In that coffin.
Shh. It's all right. None of that matters. I'm back now.
It all fit in here. No way.
I've dreamt this. It's the same dream time after time, and when I wake up and I've lost you again, the grief is as strong as the day they dredged your car out. What happened?
I had to get away. I was losing control.
Away where? They charged me with your murder. I've been locked up for months with dealers and muggers and God knows what scum. And you have been doing what? One word would have stopped it all. One word to say that you were alive.
I didn't know, Frank, I swear. When I left, it was to get away from everything. The news, the papers, people. The first clue I had was on Tuesday. I found an old newspaper in the hotel. It said you'd been released. Well, I had to stop a young English couple and ask, released from what?
Where were you?
It doesn't matter. What matters is I'm home.
Where were you?
Mauritius!
I have been to hell and back. And the biggest issue on your mind was which cocktail to order.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't. I nearly went under.
Oh, dear. Tell me about it.
Sometimes you have to lie low for a while. Lick your wounds and take stock. Until you're ready for the fight.
Fight?
Until you're ready to face the world again.
You said fight.
I miss James. I want him back, Frank.
And I thought your death was a nightmare.
What are you doing?
Looking!
Looking for what?
God, I forgot what it was like to be in the same room as you.
Frank, stop it. Where is he? I want to see my son.
No!
Your heart, Frank.
Oh, spare me your concerned wife act. I'm looking for my pills. It's no big deal. Other people would have considered the social niceties, like, how have you been? Or phoning the police. You haven't done that yet.
I told you. I came straight here.
Look, forget the plan. You're an unfit mother. Your disappearance proves that, if nothing else.
I thought we could do a deal. You give me James, and I'll clear your name.
My name is clear. I'm a free man.
Did you feel like a free man before tonight? Your freedom only proves you had the cash to buy it.
Excuse me. You're here. You are the living proof of my innocence.
Am I really, Frank?
What?
Am I really here? Nobody saw me arrive. I could slip away as easily as I slipped in. I'm a dead woman. I don't exist.
So if I killed you now, the world would never know.
I've forgotten how much I missed you, Frank. So, tell me about the funeral. Did I have a good send-off?
Far better than the next one will be.
Cuts both ways. I mean, if you were to die tonight, who'll be the prime suspect? Doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to rule your dead wife out the running. Choose your weapon. We'll play a little party game.
Oh, stop this.
If you were a murderer, what sort of murderer would you be? You first. Although, we know the answer to that already. A bad one.
Because the victim's still alive.
Wrong. Because you got the wrong girl.
You're crazy.
Little details aside. You'd go for something quick. Whereas I prefer something lingering.
Like a slow incarceration for a murder that didn't take place? Am I getting warmer?
Could you go through with it? Or would you get someone else to do your dirty work? Pete McCarthy? Zoe? They all have the price. Who did it that night, Frank? The night you thought you'd seen me off? Did you push the car over the cliff? Or stand there while someone else did?
Who was she? Tell me.
Some blonde, some dumb blonde, as it happens. I just paid her to drive the car.
You staged this from the start, didn't you? It was always too perfect.
You say you've suffered. Well, you're still here to tell the tale. David isn't.
I'm right then.
You could call it perfect, yes. There's a, what's the word? A symmetry about it.
You killed the girl.
Nice try, Frank. But I was on the plane by then. And I can prove it. Can I tempt you?
Did she have a name?
Wendy, Sandy, something like that. She's the right build and the right price. That's all I can remember. Can we talk straight for a moment?
That'll be a first.
Do it the easy way, Frank. Retire, step aside, whatever. But give me James.
Never.
We could find you another wife. Maybe Sophie might be interested. Well, I'd hate to lose her as a nanny.
I wouldn't even dignify that with an answer.
You do that for me, and I'll go to the police. I'll explain about going away.
And what about your letter to your solicitor? Claiming that I was trying to kill you, and the phony hotel bookings, and the tales that I'm a wife-beater. That's going to take a lot of explaining. It's called wasting police time and conspiracy.
I'll forget everything I know about the blonde and the arrangements we made. If I don't, well, it could all start again.
What?
The interviews, the accusations, the murder charge, the remand centre.
You wouldn't be so stupid.
I paid her to dump the car at the quarry. How did she wind up in the car in the quarry? You know, Frank. I know you do.
You bitch!
I want my son!
I would rather watch you die than watch you take my son. Go! Ambulance. Please, Kim. Help me. Whatever you want, have.
You know what I want?
Phone.
Say it.
Okay.
Say it.
Take James.
I wondered about a reconciliation. For the sake of James and the estate. It wouldn't work again. I know every trick in your book. I don't respect you anymore.
Kim, please.
You're a dinosaur, Frank. And you know what happened to them?
I cried at your funeral. I loved you, Kim. Remember? Remember, you loved me.
Cheers. To life. Hello, is that room service? Yes, it's room 211. Could I have a full English breakfast, please?
Sure, Chris will be all right.
I knew he was bottling it up. Why didn't he just say something to me?
If Chris could talk about how he really felt deep down, we'd still be married.
What's the matter?
Someone just walked over me.
Will people tell you about your mummy and daddy?
I'll tell him not to listen to gossip. I came as soon as I heard. I couldn't believe it.
You still catch the funeral?
I know. I passed the church.
You gave up the chance of making one big, final, dramatic entrance for him.
Things have changed.
He's dead. You're dead.
You won't believe how dreadful I felt when I heard.
Sure.
Shouldn't you be there?
I'm looking after James.
Why haven't you gone? Still, Mummy's here now. Oh, I've missed you. Oh, God, have I missed you, darling. Sorry, it's only just sinking in. You really did think I was dead, didn't you? Must be terribly upsetting for you.
Not really. You don't matter anymore.
Is that the best you can do? I was expecting a more spirited response. Still, I suppose it's knocked the stuffing out of you. I mean, you were definitely second best when Frank was here. But now, in a funny way, you're even less without him. That's what all that's about, isn't it? You were going to do the decent thing. I've just walked in on your suicide. Oh, goody. What did you think when you heard I died?
I didn't believe you had.
Of course you did.
They buried a body.
Which you believe was me.
I still hated you as though you were still alive. I just didn't have the inconvenience of having to put up with you, that's all. But I hated you just as much. I could still see you, hear you taunting.
Oh, go on. Take the tablets.
Just like that. You really are quite predictable.
Oh, coming back from the grave isn't that predictable. Do you want me to take James for a walk? Leave you alone, you know, with your tablets. Shall I get a pen and paper? Then you could write your goodbye note. I mean, you quite rightly realised that you had nothing left in your life before I arrived. But now, things are even worse. I'm back. Your stepmother. Your father's widow. The one who's entitled to everything. There's just one thing of Frank's I know you want more than anything else.
You don't know anything about me.
Something that would let you be your own man. Show him what you're really made of. Me. It's always been me. There's not been a day when you haven't thought about me, has there? Since the first time we met.
Don't flatter yourself.
You've imagined being with me. Having me. Even when you thought I was dead. You said it. You couldn't stop hearing me. Or seeing me.
Because I hated you.
Oh, you're getting your emotions confused. It's because you love me. Hearing and seeing is one thing. But touching is another.
Christopher?
So sorry, Zoe. I know how close you and your dad were.
I don't understand. What's happening?
This must be a shock.
What the hell's going on? You knew she'd be here.
What are you talking about?
This is some grotesque scheme. You planned it. And I was worried about you. And did you intend to wait for Dad's heart to pack up? Or perhaps you thought you could help him on his way. God. Even when he was in custody for murder, you'd have let him rot. And where were you? In some hotel down the road following events on the news.
Oh, I've been abroad. I didn't know.
Oh, and I'm expected to believe this, either of you. I saw you!
She was playing one of her games.
I don't want to hear it. When it comes to playing games, Christopher, you wrote the rule book.
You're being too hard on Christopher. Yes, we kissed.
We didn't kiss. You kissed me.
And that makes a difference.
It was a farewell kiss. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. It's your brother. When I arrived, he was about to...
Go on. Chris. Tell me you weren't going to take them. Why?
My God. Look at them all. It's as if they're frozen in time. Nothing's changed. Still, it's quite convenient they're all here. We can get reacquainted over the sherry and vol au vents. I'll let them in.
You'll do no such thing. That door stays locked.
Of course. I wouldn't want to take the limelight. It is Frank's big day. No question.
Zoe?
Wait there.
So, what are you going to do? Lock me in the cellar?
Could think of a more appropriate place.
Oh, it's in the land of the living.
Got to you.
I'm the big brother. You're supposed to come to me.
What if I returned here and found that you'd succeeded?
It wouldn't have been a worse shock than finding her.
Chris, I love you. I thought you loved me. Don't you?
You know I do.
And Joseph and James.
And Dad.
Do you think Dad would want you to give in?
Wouldn't have surprised him. He thought I was weak.
He was fairly perceptive.
Chris, promise me you won't ever do this again. We've got to trust each other, talk. I don't think I could bear it if I lost you as well.
You won't.
You might sound as if you meant it.
Oh, I do. I intend to stick around.
That's more like it.
For you, James, Joseph, but for Dad.
Come on. There we are, darling. Oh, have you missed Mummy? I've missed you.
Have you?
Oh, yes. Think I wanted it to end up like this?
I think it's exactly what you wanted. Who was she? The woman in the quarry.
How should I know?
Oh, come off it.
It's a pity you can't ask your father.
Dad and I identified that body. It was you.
You wish. You all wanted me dead so badly, anybody would do. Anybody.
And you made sure there was one there.
I don't know anything about it.
You better tell the police that. They're on their way. I didn't want to give you time to do another vanishing act.
I've nothing to hide. I'll get that. After all, it is my house.
The eye cook. Miss Tate called.
I'm Kim Tate. Mrs. Kim Tate. Of course. So he told you I'd returned.
She just said I was needed here.
Well, I should be shocked.
I suppose so.
But I'm not. I feel as though I know you, Mrs. Kim Tate. I've lived with you for the past 3 months.
I dare say. That's why I asked Zoe to phone you. I assume there must be some paperwork involved, as I was missing, presumed dead, so to speak.
Well, it's more than just a bureaucratic inconvenience. The file remains open on a murder inquiry.
But I'm not dead.
Someone is.
I just had to get out of here. I'd thought about it so many times. I thought if I don't do it now, I might never get away.
Why did you think that?
Frank was becoming increasingly violent.
How dare you? As I'm going to have to ask you to come and make a formal statement, I think it's best we do that now.
Of course, but I would like to tell you now, in front of Chris and Zoe.
Why would you want to do that?
It might help them.
What?
It might help them to understand what went on. They might not think so badly of me.
Do you really think so?
I'm not under arrest, am I?
Do you want to hear what she's got to say?
Leaving was surprisingly easy. I knew James would be all right here. Frank wouldn't harm him. And I knew I could rely on Zoe to look after his welfare. She's his godparent.
So am I.
I just didn't think it was fair to take him with me. So I drove to Manchester Airport and left my car in the car park. I was paranoid. Frank had hired a private detective to spy on me before. I thought I might be being followed. So I abandoned the car and didn't check into the hotel I'd booked. I got a train from Manchester to London, and I caught Eurostar. From there on, it was easy. I got a plane from Paris to Mauritius. I've got the plane tickets and my passport stamped.
They'll be checked. Go on.
I knew I had to get custody of James, so I returned to Europe a week ago. It was only then that I saw in an English newspaper that it was safe to return.
Meaning?
Frank was dead.
Assuming that the account you've given is actually correct, there's one question to be answered.
It's all verifiable.
It's also verifiable that your car somehow found its way back from Manchester to the quarry on your husband's estate.
I can only suppose it was stolen. I left all my cards in it so that I couldn't be traced. Poor woman must have taken the contents along with my identity.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And drive back here to assume your life, hoping no one would notice.
Oh, what are you saying, Christopher? You think Frank followed the car and killed the occupant, thinking it was me?
Do you want to see your son before we go?
I don't think I could face another goodbye. Look after him, Zoe. Let's hope I'll soon be back.
While you're interrogating her, ask her what she lived on while she was away.
How do you mean?
Because being without her plastic is like being deprived of oxygen for her. Find out what she did with the $350,000 in cash she swindled me out of.
Leave it, Chris.
Can't you see what she's doing? I mean, she's more than a match for this lot.
I intend finding out whether Mrs. Tate really did run away. As an outsider, one could assume she did indeed have good cause.
Let's clear this up.
Car's familiar.
It's that detective that arrested Frank.
He must be closing the case now.